back. Today, we are going to be talking about the time window. Okay, it's very important to understand when exactly we trade and when we get out. So, this is going to ensure that you're not in the market the entire day. Too many times, more often than not, every trader is a lot of the time stuck in the market for the entire day, and it's just not worth it because the entire day that's working overtime for nothing. You're not making any money when you're in the market for that long. Like, there's no point in being in the market because there's not going to be opportunity like that for the entire day. It makes no sense to be in the market for 24 hours. So we're going to be breaking down the time window. Okay, the time window is when we look at the market for our setup. Okay, so our time window, and this is where you get tested on how much you actually want to take this serious and how much you actually want to be a trader. The time window that we trade is 5 a.m. through 8 a.m. Okay, now the reason why I say this is where you get tested is because you have to be awake at 5 in the morning to be able to look for the setup and look for the trades. So here is our entry to looking at the market, and here is our exit. So this basically means that we enter the market, we look, we open up the app TradingView, we open up TradingView, and we start actively looking at the market. We start looking at the candlesticks at 5. And we close, and so this is where the 8 a.m. comes in. Here are the rules behind the 8 a.m. window. Okay, so 8 a.m. window rules. Okay, so the first rule is if you are not actively in a trade, I hope that's how you spell actively. If you're not actively in a trade, you will exit the market. Okay, so this basically just means exactly what it says. If you're not actively in a trade, let's say there was no setup that formed, or there was a setup that formed, but you just didn't enter. If you are not actively in a trade with 1% risk on the table already, when 8 a.m. hits, you're done with the market for the day. You're out of the market completely. You're going to be closing the app. You're going to stop looking in the market for the day. If you are actively in a trade, you will close your position. It does not matter where price is at during your trade if you're actively in one. You're going to close your position at 8 because volatility starts slowing down, which means the speed in which the market is moving slows down a lot. So you're going to be in a trade that is not going anywhere for a while. That is the reason we close out at 8. And usually when we're in a trade, our take profit level, which means the level in which we were targeting and wanted to exit the market on, usually gets hit before 8. So we can get out of the market. Okay? And that's, I think, pretty much it. If you're not actively in a trade, and if you are actively in a trade, you pretty much, the 8 a.m. is the close off. That is your cutoff time of trading. Okay. The 5 a.m. window is just when you come into the market. Now, usually a trade does not form until around 6:30ish, 6:15, 6:30ish. But there has been a lot of times where it will form between 5 and 5:30. So we always actively look at the market at 5 a.m. It's only 3 hours, and most of the time, a lot of the time, we're not actively in the markets for that full 3 hours. Sometimes it's an hour and a half, sometimes it's 2 hours. Okay. So that's